Hey YouTube, this video is for Sherman. I'm doing it in my shed because there's some people around. I don't want the neighbors to think I'm talking to myself like an idiot, so doing this in my shed. I know you got a business plan you got going and you're trying to sell your FS55R for an FS90R because you want a brush cutter blade. My advice would be to keep it. I don't know how often you really think you're going to use a brush cutter blade, but this is my Craftsman weed whacker. It originally came with the weed whacker head and this brush cutter attachment. This brush cutter attachment I probably used 3 times. It's not something that I would really think you're going to use often in a season if you actually keep up with your clients' lawns. Unless you're working in like wooded areas, it's really useless. Like I said, I've done it. I've used it for a couple overgrown places, and that's about it, really. So I don't know why you'd want to sell decent equipment just to get this. If you're really interested in it, I would just get a Craftsman like this one. It's decent. I know a lot of people are gonna laugh like, "Oh, it's a Craftsman," but I made a lot of money with this in one season. I've used this weed whacker head at my own house. I've never even took it on a job, so I don't use the weed whacker head anymore, but I do use the edger attachment. I use the pole saw attachment, and I use the hedge trimmer a lot. Like I said, I made a lot of money with it. Sorry. I wouldn't rush out to get a brush cutter attachment. I mean, you could see it's got minimal use. I just haven't cleaned it because I don't really care. I have a spare blade for it, but this, look, it's hardly been used. So I don't know why this is like one of your, main focuses. It would probably be my last focus. Actually, I only got it with the weed whacker because it was on sale and it came with it. And like I said, I've used it only like 3 times, so I don't know what you really need it for, but I would try and focus on just getting yourself a decent push mower, or get the mower deck from Kevin if he didn't bring it to you already. Not sure what your plans are with what your clients. I saw you deleted your most recent video because of probably the dislikes, but I think people probably disliked it because they don't want to see you sell your stuff. Honestly, I don't think anybody's out to make your video ratings bad. I think people are just trying to offer advice, and I know you haven't responded to too many comments on the stuff I left or anything. I'm sure Kevin could help you out. I know you guys supposedly talk a lot, so I'm sure he's got a lot of advice for you. But I would try and work with the equipment you have. The stuff I have, like, built up over time, and I don't have like all the best stuff. I don't have BR600s or anything laying around. I have an Echo PB413H, and I have a little Craftsman blower that I only use once in a while. It's mainly just a backup because it's not that powerful, but if you only have a few yards, you don't really need a lot of crazy equipment. Through the summer, I've probably had only about 27 regular clients, and it's all worked out good enough for me. So hopefully next year maybe we will get a more powerful blower. The only other thing, which is not here, is a 5 horsepower Billy Goat walk behind blower. But that's about it. I would stick with what you have. Here's the stuff again. And the yellow tractor right there was a $50 tractor when I bought it. Needed a head gasket, and last year I was using that to do a $600 a week commercial lawn cutting for a friend. It was one of his contracts, and on a $50 tractor I was making $150 a week just for one lawn to get paid. So you can do a lot with cheaper equipment. Over time, yeah, it's nice to have expensive stuff, but when you're first starting out, you kind of need the money more than you need good equipment. So make do with what you got. That's my advice. There's my Husqvarna 21-inch push mower that I've used quite often, actually. And that's actually what I started with. And I was doing, at the time, maybe 6 lawns with that. And then I borrowed a Skag 32-inch mower. But then I went and bought my 36 and my 48 that I have now, and between the two I only spent $300. So I'm not sure why your business plan starting out, you know, is you have like a $3,000 list of equipment. You don't really need a $3,000 list of equipment to purchase, especially if the clients you have, if you're not going to make $3,000 in the summer and you're not making a profit right away, it's really not a good idea. But do whatever is good for you. But that's my advice. The other stuff is, here's a wood chipper that I got for free for doing some work for somebody. But right now the engine's seized up for some reason. I'm not sure why. I'll take it apart later. And there's another push mower out back there. It's a Toro recycler. I got that from the same job with the wood chipper. So I would work with what you have and what you can get cheap or free, which is better. A lot of my stuff came from working for a few people, and that's about it. I guess if you let me walk out of the shed and I'll show you what I wrote in a comment for you for the about using a dethatcher that I got for $50. Here it is. It's the, however you want to say, is JRCO dethatcher for $50, and my current business plan shows that 1 yard will pay it back, and then it's going to start a profit. So if I were you, I would figure out how you're going to make a profit right away versus trying to buy a lot of equipment. Like I said, I don't think you're going to need it. I don't know how many clients you have. You've never really mentioned what you have, and I know stuff is like, the one that you did mention is like across the street from your house or whatever, but I would just, I would start out small. Like I said, and I think having a $3,000 plan is probably not your best option. And here's my solo backpack sprayer. I think it might be the same as Kevin's. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll comment on it. I know he got a steel or whatever now. Maybe he still has this one, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. And you can get these. I got this at Home Depot, so it wasn't that expensive. I think $80 or $90. And here's my Husqvarna tiller, which this paid for itself about 4 times over already, I think. But like I said, we bought this because the job we were doing, I think this cost, it was on sale for $300 or $400, and we used it on a $4,000 job. So, of course, it paid for itself. But, and I'm sure you can get better tillers than this. But like for us, it worked fine, and we're probably going to use it a lot this season too. So that's my advice to you: is start off small. I certainly didn't buy all this stuff in one day. It adds up over time. Excuse me. And I got some stuff at some other houses that people are storing for me. But like I said, you didn't get this overnight, so that's my advice to you. Use it for what it's worth. Hopefully you see this video and you at least comment on it, or I hope it helps you. Hopefully make the right decision, and like I said, do everything as cheap as you can to make the most profit. Like, don't buy the most expensive equipment. Don't sell your stuff and try and get something a little bit better. I know your biggest goal seems to be to get rid of your FS55R for an FS90R for the brush cutter blade, but that doesn't make sense to me. If that was your ultimate goal, you should have got the FS90R from the beginning. But you're probably not going to use it that much. I mean, out of all the videos I watched for, everybody, how many people have videos using a brush cutter? I mean, I don't remember Kevin having one, or Mr. Kyle 148. I've never seen Savage No More use a brush cutter. So unless you have a really good reason for needing the brush cutter, make a video about it. But I wouldn't go nuts trying to get it right away. Get yourself a handheld blower, or borrow Kevin's VR200 like he mentioned in one of the comments before he deleted the video. That's all I got to say, really. But I hope this helps, and I'm going to get back to working here and straighten everything out. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.